Memories of our favorite childhood cartoons can leave an imprint in our hearts forever, transporting us to a world of retro animation, classic characters, and vintage adventures. Like sweet wisps of nostalgia, they remind us of the good old days, when every new episode was a magical moment and every character was part of our childhood memories. Among this collection of memories carefully collected in our minds, each cartoon brings with it not only joy and entertainment, but also valuable lessons and values that will stay with us forever. Together with the retro atmosphere and classic cartoon characters, these memories become part of our personal collection of treasures that we hold fondly in our hearts. Cinderella is one of Disney's most famous and beloved animated films, released in 1950. The plot is based on the classic fairy tale by Charles Perrault. Here are the highlights and facts about the animated movie Cinderella. The movie tells the story of a girl named Cinderella, whose mother has died and whose father has married a second time to a woman with two daughters. After the death of her father, Cinderella finds herself under the control of an evil stepmother and her daughters, who turn her into a maid in their own house. With the help of a magical fairy godmother, Cinderella gets a chance to go to a ball where she meets a prince. This is Disney's 9th feature-length animated film. The movie was produced during an important period in the company's history, known as the Silver Age of Disney. Cinderella was a very successful project that helped Disney get out of financial difficulties after World War II. The movie earned many awards and nominations, including 2 Academy Award nominations. One of the most famous parts of the movie was its music. Songs in the movie such as Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo,
Salagadoo, Lamentagaboo, La Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo,
and So This Is Love.
So this is love.
Have become classics of the animation genre. Cinderella has had a huge impact on pop culture and has become one of Disney's most recognizable works. Her story has been retold and adapted many times in a variety of formats, including movies, musicals, books, and rides. Disney subsequently created several adaptations of Cinderella, including the 2015 live-action film, which became one of the highest-grossing films of the year. Cinderella remains one of the most important and beloved works of the animated genre, and its story continues to inspire generations of audiences around the world. The Tom and Jerry animated series is an undisputed classic animated masterpiece that has garnered immense popularity and has become one of the most famous and beloved animated works in the world. Here are a few of the oddities and curiosities associated with the series. The name of the characters, Tom the cat and Jerry the mouse, is a play on words. In English, the phrase cat and mouse game means cat and mouse game, which emphasizes the continuous conflict and confrontation between the characters. The entire Tom and Jerry animated series is characterized by the fact that the characters do not speak. However, despite the lack of words, the comedic scenes and expression of emotion remain very effective due to the skill of the animation. Unlike many other animated series where characters can change or develop over time, Tom and Jerry has remained virtually unchanged for decades. This has allowed the classic animated style of the series to remain intact. The names Tom and Jerry were suggested at random. When cartoon creators William Hanna and Joseph Barbera were working on the first episodes, they simply picked the names from the phone book. The legendary characters in the Tom and Jerry animated series were inspired by other famous comedy duos such as Laurel and Hardy and Will Rogers. In the original script of the first episode, Tom was called Jasper, but after the filmmakers accidentally labeled him Tom, the name stuck. The music in the Tom and Jerry cartoon plays a huge role in creating atmosphere and humor. Most of the compositions were written by Carl Still and William Hanna and were used in various episodes of the show. These facts demonstrate that Tom and Jerry is not only funny cartoons, but also an important part of animation history that had a huge impact on the genre. Here are some interesting facts and curiosities about the 1961 cartoon 101 Dalmatians. 101 Dalmatians was an adaptation of Dodie Smith's book of the same name, published in 1956. The story was inspired by a real-life Dalmatian dog the author saw in the park. During production, the animators faced the challenge of creating unique external characteristics for each of the 101 Dalmatians. This involved using barcodes to make each dog look unique. To create a realistic sounds of the Dalmatians' footsteps, the sound team used wool socks that were hooked onto their shoes and walked on the floor. One of the main stars of the movie was Cruella de Vil, a villain with a fur fetish inspired by French actress Tallulah Bankhead. To create the effect of moving cars, the cartoon used round road marking samples that were tied to rods and rolled across the ground. The animators who worked on the movie visited zoos to study the movements and mannerisms of Dalmatians and other dogs. The success of 101 Dalmatians led to the creation of many sequels, adaptations, and remakes, including animated series, live-action films, and theatrical productions. These facts demonstrate the labor and creativity that went into the making of this classic animated film. Pinocchio 1940 is a Disney animated movie based on Carlo Collodi's novel, The Adventures of Pinocchio. This movie is one of Disney's most famous and significant works. Here are some interesting facts about it. Pinocchio was the first feature-length animated film to utilize technical innovations, such as the multi-plane camera, which created a profound effect of visual perspective. The movie Pinocchio won 2 Academy Awards for Best Music, Original Song, When You Wish Upon a Star, and Best Special Effects. The song When You Wish Upon a Star from Pinocchio has become one of Disney's most recognizable and iconic songs.
When you wish upon a star.
It has become Disney's unofficial anthem and has been performed by numerous artists and orchestras. In Pinocchio, audiences follow the evolution of the main character from a wooden puppet to a real boy. This movie emphasizes the theme of responsibility, friendship, and moral lessons. Despite its artistic achievements, the movie Pinocchio was a commercial failure during its first run. Due to World War II and lack of promotion, Pinocchio had a huge influence on many subsequent animated films, as well as cultural perceptions of Pinocchio as a character. These facts emphasize the importance and influence of the movie Pinocchio as one of the classic works of animation art. Peter Pan is a Disney animated film released in 1953 based on James Barrie's play Peter Pan in Neverland. Here are some interesting facts about the film. Disney began work on the adaptation of Peter Pan as early as 1935, but production was halted due to limited budget and technical difficulties. The film Peter Pan includes several unforgettable musical numbers, including You Can Fly, The Second Star to the Right, and Following the Leader. Peter Pan introduces viewers to iconic characters such as Tinker Bell, Captain Hook, and the Lost Boys. This film also contributed to the formation of Peter Pan's image as a symbol of carefree youth and adventure. One of the central themes of the film is the balance between childhood and adulthood. Peter Pan embodies the archetype of a boy who refuses to grow up and lives in a world of eternal play and adventure. Peter Pan became a cult classic, exerting a significant influence on many subsequent animated films, books, and games. It also served as the basis for numerous adaptations and remakes in theater and cinema. These facts underscore the significance and influence of the film Peter Pan as one of Disney's classic works, leaving its mark on the history of animation and culture. Dumbo is a Disney animated film released in 1941. Here are some interesting facts about it. The idea for Dumbo arose in response to financial difficulties the studio faced after the failure of the previous film, Fantasia. The film is based on the children's book Dumbo, the Flying Elephant, 1939, by Helen Aberson. Dumbo was made on a minimal budget, while other Disney projects required significantly larger investments. This allowed the film to become one of the most profitable Disney works at the time. The film satirically portrays various aspects of American society at the time, including discrimination, labor exploitation, and social inequality. Dumbo blends different animation styles, including realistic background images, anthropomorphic characters, and comedic scenes. The central theme of Dumbo is a story of self-acceptance and overcoming adversity. By overcoming his fears and self-doubt, Dumbo gains the strength and confidence to achieve his dream. The film periodically returns to popularity due to its important theme that everyone can be unique in their own way. Dumbo remains one of the most recognizable and beloved Disney films, continuing to inspire and touch the hearts of audiences of all ages. In conclusion, memories of our favorite childhood cartoons not only bring joy and pleasure, but also embody a piece of our childhood innocence and magic. These cartoons, steeped in retro atmosphere, classic characters, and unforgettable adventures, remind us of the wonderful times when life seemed like an endless journey into the world of imagination. With them, we relive those joyful moments, feel the scent of childhood, and the warmth of emotional harmony. And may these memories remain with us forever, reminding us that the magic of childhood always lives in our hearts.